Chiefs going up against the Bills. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports, and man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one.
Continues. Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Hackenberg got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is Bills just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A first down throw for Hackenberg. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Sammy Coates, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the fourth. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Hackenberg's going to throw for it. That's caught. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Fielded about a yard deep. A beautiful fake. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. Oh, he did it again. And all the way down to the 39. A big play here for Buffalo. And even 40 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. McCarron now on first down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. 15 yards through the air on a first down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it here with Bernard. And his he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
McCarron going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's complete to Lewis. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dion Lewis, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A chance for us to look now at the Bills' defense. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Now the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. Again, it's Abdullah. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. But it was stopped on that play. We saw plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And ready now for 2nd and 9.
Let's go! 3-19!
Again, here's Bernard. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here we go! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
They'll run again with Bernard. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Now McCarron. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. And quickly they get to the line. McCarron looks to throw. He's got time. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. To throw is McCarron, and this is incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. 3rd down here.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Well, time not on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
This is Lewis. And he'll be brought down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They go with Abdullah again. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So we saw a lot of points. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we'd get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
Not at all.
And have 0 points on either side? Not a chance, right? And somehow it happened. We always talk about making adjustments. Maybe both defenses took 4 full quarters in order to get an adjustment. Got 1 good period in for both defenses, and now they go home. You buying tonight?
I thought it was you. I did last week. I did the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to go for 3.
Dinner on you, my good
Trying
man.
to go for 3.
Nothing between these 2 teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here come the Bills. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control. Here's Andy Lee now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Bernard. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play call.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll be left with 2 remaining here in this overtime session. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. This for a trip to the Super Bowl. And the kick is good. He got it. And with that, they are off to the Super Bowl. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal is from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
Championship, where only one team can move on. It's the Seahawks going up against the Redskins. With that, let's get up to FedEx Field. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. Hello, everyone, alongside Charles. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and he connects with Ertz. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Zach Ertz, 76 yards. And the from the gun on third, Garoppolo surveying the field. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to
Nice game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Red zone opportunity. First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to run with Langford, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
1 quarter down, 3 to go on the road to the Super Bowl. 7-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. So completion on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 13 and also the 1st down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Langford trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Man open left side is Brown. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. A slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now back to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Let's go. Blue landed.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Time to step aside. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
Everyone's got four down. Detroit! Detroit!
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Robert Woods, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. And plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Over the middle here to Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third down now following the completed pass.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. They go screenplay to Langford. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Beckham.
Whoosh.
Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Second down, and the offense in search of 6 yards. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st down, Garoppolo finding time. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo looking for his running back, and he's got him. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 4 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Going underneath for Gordon. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will knot things up here late in the 1st half. And that 3-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the 2nd quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. As we look at the numbers, the only thing that really matters is that we've got a tie game. We'll have another half here to figure out who can come out on top. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Now to the middle of the first. Ertz has got the reception, and this play goes for a score. Seahawks is up now by 7. Redskins have it midway through the first. To once again sack the QB, this one ends up as a loss of 6. Seahawks take it at the 16. Under pressure here, and the ball is picked off. Fuller's happy to come away with the pick and end the drive. After the INT, offense comes out now. Woods is found on the quick pass, and that goes as a 15-yard touchdown, cutting the deficit to 3. So that's all for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll get you back out to the field now for some more playoff action.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The third quarter starts with a run by Jeremy Langford. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Langford again. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge. No place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
So following the penalty, now 1st and 5.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting through and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So they don't get a touchdown here in this opening drive of the 3rd quarter. But I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Washington defense getting ready. They got the stop last time that resulted in a punt, and then it resulted in 3 for their offense.
And this is one time where the defense won't get credit for creating points, but that's exactly what they did. All right, forced them into a punt, turned it over to their offense, and guess what? Points went on the board.
Points went on the board, 3 of them. Now they'll be looking for another stop. They'll try to get the ground game going with Langford. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Brian Arakpo. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
All right, here we go.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground.
Hey. 4 down. No. Check. Patriot.
Garoppolo on 1st down. His pass caught at the 4. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And it looks like they might be expecting a pass, an extra DB in on 3rd and goal. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Odell Beckham, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Tucker now to add the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is the only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right? He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. On play action, they'll throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. And now a 1st down following that long gain. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Back to throw now on second and 10. Over the middle here to Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So the offense has it first and 10.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he rifles one incomplete. Jeremy Langford, the one he was trying to get it to. And that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's got time in the pocket. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
I know for us it's fun. And it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Second and goal to go now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, Let's do this thing.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And some room to maneuver. There goes Melvin Gordon. The 20. Touchdown, Washington. Melvin Gordon, 74 yards. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
Super toe.
15 yards there on the catch and run. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
They'll look to throw here, and he whips that one incomplete there. 10 yards still left on second down.
Let's go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. They go screen play to Langford. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
No. Check. Patriot.
The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Here we go.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Sets up the screen to Gordon. Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Another pistol look here. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. This is Melvin Gordon, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion. That one was intended for John Brown. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Ten yards to go on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he comes back with one complete. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done. First down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. And he fires one incomplete.
connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
We got three. Set, 3, 19.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Jeremy Langford, the one he was looking to get it to. And now it's third down.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
He'll look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Redskins, they can smell victory now. They take a knee.
Double tight. 4 down. All right, here we go.
They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 3 down.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship.